Jesus Christ be praised. Last week we received a package from Warhorse. It's not soap, but it's a mace made by Kalimakil. Am I saying this right? These guys are really famous for making LARP weapons. So this mace is a LARP weapon based on the mace from Kingdom Come Deliverance, made by Warhorse. We received a challenge to make this LARP weapon into a cosplay weapon. So we're going to recreate it using foam, but also 3D printing. You can find the guys who made this LARP weapon down in the description below. We'll start off with the 3D printing part of the video. I modeled the mace myself in Fusion 360 and then 3D printed it in 5 separate pieces. So all the 3D prints are done and nicely lined up here. We will use a fiber rod in the middle to put everything together. Then we can prime and color it. Once the pieces are assembled, I use Plastidip as a primer. Always use Plastidip in a well-ventilated area. I'll be using Alclad airbrush paint for this 3D printed piece to achieve a clean metallic look. For this piece I just wanted some minor weathering, so I used some black paint and a cloth to wipe it off. So we're done with the 3D printed mace. For this one we looked at a more cleaner look, but with the foam one we're going all out, bloody, weathered, abused, whatever. So the positive side with 3D printing is you can get a really clean look. It also doesn't need much printing time. I think I did this in 24 hours for all the 5 pieces. The negative side is you can't use this at a con. This is hard. If you hit someone with it, it will bleed. This is a LARP weapon. You can hit as hard as you want. It hurts a little bit. I'm okay. So now that we're done with the 3D printed part, we can get started with the foam pieces. We're going to use the original LARP weapon as a reference. We're going to measure it directly from the base shape. We're also going to do it part by part. This is the most suitable way for cosplay to make it, since we have a reference 1:1 scale and foam is easier to use than 3D printing and modeling. For the foam build I'm using some 5mm high density foam for the details and some foam dowels for the handle. Contact cement is perfect to glue all these pieces together. To achieve the twisting effect in the rod, I just glued together 2 strips of 10mm black foam and turned it into a twist. Of course I had to make a slit using a soldering iron with a tip I'm not using for anything else, so that the fiberglass rod can fit. The mace head was made using foam blocks, and after measuring out every dimension of the original prop, I used a bandsaw because it's easier for me, but you could also use a very sharp knife and a Dremel. We're done with cutting everything. We have 2 bases, a lot of pointy tips and a top. So now we can start with the assembly. Just like the 3D printed piece, I'm using super glue or contact cement to put everything together. To give the handle more detail, I just used some smaller foam dowels. The tip of the mace was sculpted with foam clay. I also used it to fill up some seams and ugly edges. Once the foam mace is assembled, I use some flex bond to prime it. I dabbed it on with a sponge so I can create an iron texture. I did the same with the paint. So I added some weathering and highlights by dry brushing some brighter and darker colors onto it. I thought it'd be cool to bloody it up a bit by using some red paint mixed with water. Then I just splashed it on with a brush to make it look as natural as possible. As an extra gift for Sexy Biscuit, the YouTuber we will be sending this to, I wanted to make a foam shield with the Skalitz colors. This shield was made with our new ultra high density foam. This foam is a lot sturdier and heavier, and is perfect for props like these. To give the shield a little more depth, I added a layer with low density foam on top of it. Once again, we primed this piece with flex bond. The paint I'm using here is also new and is called Cospaint. I can highly recommend it for anything metallic. You can find the huge assortment at Cosplayshop.be. Now that everything's done, we'll send these over to Sexy Biscuit and they will review it. We will leave a link in the description down below. So Roxy, we'll hope you like and have a use for these 3 bong sticks. All the materials used you can find on Cosplayshop.be. Thanks for watching and see you next time.